at 19, cause I thought that was love. Learned real quick about the shove and the glove. He'd hold the money tight and he'd hold my name down. Told me I was nothing outside of his town. Cut me off from my sisters, cut me off from my kin. Locked every window that the light could've come in. 10 years I shrunk myself to fit in his hand. Forgot I was a woman who could take her own stand. Treading my wedding ring for a set of tools. Left a man who mistook my kindness for a fool. Built my own house with these two bare hands. Now I answer to nobody, cross my own lane. Left on a Tuesday with a bag and a prayer, $20 and no truck and a fist full of scare. Slept in the shelter where the other women stayed. All of us surviving on the plans that we made. A carpenter there took me on for a wage. Taught me hammer and level, turned the fear into rage. Rage into focus and the focus into skill. Every board that I cut was a piece of my will. Traded my wedding ring for a set of tools. Left a man who mistook my kindness for a fool. Built my own house with these two bare hands. Now I answer to nobody, cross my own land. Bought a scrap of land where the price was near free. Cleared it and I framed it, just my crew and me. Crew of other women who'd escaped the same night, building one another back into the light. Now we run a company, all women, all strong. Build homes for the ones who've been done wrong. You come to us broken with a bag and a scare. We hand you a hammer and we teach you right there. My ex drove past slow when he heard about the crew. Rolled his window down like he had something to do. I just kept on building, didn't give him a glance. Some folks lose the power the second you dance. Trading my wedding ring for a set of tools. Built my own house and I answered to no fool. Yeah. I learned to shoot straight before I learned to back down. Only girl on the ranch in a hard cattle town. They said a woman couldn't ride, couldn't rope, couldn't stand. Now they tip their heads when I ride across my lane. Daddy wanted sons, but he got me instead. 3 of us girls in the ranch nearly dead. Mama passed early in the debt, piled high, bank circling slow like a buzzard in the sky. I was up before the rooster, boots caked in mud. Learned the whole trade in my bones and my blood. Neighbor man laughed at the girl on the fence, said sell it to a real man, that's just common. I learned to shoot straight before I learned to back down. Only girl on the ranch in a hard cattle town. They said a woman couldn't ride, couldn't rope, couldn't stand. Now they tip their hats when I ride across my land. Yeah, drought came in summer and it burned the grass black. Half the herd dying and the money didn't stack. Big rancher offered pennies for the deed of my hand. Figured he could start me right off of my land. But I hard water midnight, I burnt calves in the cold. Stole my mama's jewelry, every ring, every gold. Made it through December on a prayer in the spike. Come spring, the rain fell and the fields turned bright. I learned to shoot straight before I learned to back down. Only girl on the ranch in a hard cattle town. They said a woman couldn't ride, couldn't rope, couldn't stand. Now they tip their hats when I ride across my land. That same big rancher lost it all in the end. Pain, asking for work like a hat and ham friend. I heard him honest, didn't gloat, didn't sneer, just said, saddle up, we start the season here. Now my sister run the books and the herd runs deep. Biggest spread in the county that the family can't keep. I train the young girls that the ranchers turn away. Teach them rope and ride and how to stand their own way. Daddy's in the ground under cottonwood shade. Wanted sons for the legacy, but look what I made. So I ride at the sunrise where the tall grass bend. The only girl who stayed, and the land's mine to the end. They told me the mountain was a man's world to keep. Cold in the dark where the seams run deep. But I strapped on the light and I went underground. Only woman on the crew, and I held my ground. Third generation of the miners in my blood. Daddy's lungs full of the black and the crud. He said, girl, get out, go to college, go far. Don't end up like me, under a dead man's star. But the mind took him early and the pension came thin. So I did what I had to just to bring money in. Walked in that office with my chin held high. Foreman laughed and said, honey, nice try. They told me the mountain was a man's world to keep. Cold in the dark, where the seams run deep. But I strapped on the light and I went underground. Only woman on the crew, and I held my ground. First month was brutal, they would test me each day. How my gear cracked the jokes, hope I'd walk away. But I Outlaw, the biggest and the outlasted the rest. Never once complained when they put me to the test. And the shaft came down on the cold, screaming moan. Two men trapped in the dark where the rock kept torn. I was small enough to crawl where the big men couldn't go. Put them both out, breathing from the dust below. They told me the mountain was a man's world to keep. Cold in the dark, where the seams run deep. But I strapped on the light and I went underground. Only woman on the crew, and I held my ground. Same men that mocked me carried me up on their arms. Foreman shook my hand for the first time, no charms. Said I was wrong about you, and I'll say it out loud. You're the best on this mountain, say it proud. Mine closed for good when the market went cold, but I learned about safety and the value of gold. Now I fight for the miners in the Capitol halls. Black loan benefits and the safer shaft walls. Daddy will be proud of the woman I've grown. Took the family curse and I built me a throne. So the mountain remembers when they talk of the crew about the girl who went down where the strong men do. Daddy came home broken from a war he couldn't name. Silent at the table, never quite the same. I loved him through the darkness that he carried alone. Learned that saving somebody starts with just staying home. Yeah, he left a laughing young man with a swing in his step. Came back a stranger, holding secrets he kept. Slept with the lights on and he flinched at the sound of a car door slamming or a dog barking around. Mama tried to reach him but he drifted far away, staring past the window at some faraway day. I was just a little thing but I felt the cold. A house full of quiet and a man growing old. Daddy came home broken from a war he couldn't name. Silent at the table, never quite the same. I loved him through the darkness that he carried alone. Learned that saving somebody starts with just staying home. The battle came calling when I turned about 10. Every night a little deeper in that hole he was in. The county had no help for the wound that he wore, just a handshake and a flag and a locked up VA door. One night he was sitting with his head in his hands, whispered, baby, I'm drowning and I can't understand. So I sat down beside him, didn't say a word, just held on to his arm till the morning bird. Daddy came home broken from a war he couldn't name. Silent at the table, never quite the same. I loved him through the darkness that he carried alone. Learned that saving somebody starts with just staying home. Soldier who would walk the same road. Sat him on the porch and let him carry the load. Two broken men talking as the sun going down. First time I saw Daddy lay the heavy thing down. Now I run a quiet program for the ones coming back. Porch and the coffee pot and folks who know the track. No forms and no waiting, just a place you can be with people who've been there, and a cup that's free. Daddy volunteers there with his great steady hands. Youngest best listen cause the old man understands. He ain't fully healed but he's found his own way, and he laughs again sometimes. That's enough for today. Daddy came home broken from a war he couldn't name. I loved him through the darkness took my hometown, but it couldn't take my roots. Washed away the houses, couldn't wash away the truth. We rebuilt on the high ground, where the water couldn't reach. Every flood that tried to drown us only taught us how to teach. Yeah, I was 9 when the levee gave up in the night. Woke the mama screaming in the flashlight bite. Water in the kitchen, water climbing the stair. Daddy carried grandma through the rising night. Man, watched our whole life floating down the muddy brown street. Photographs and Sunday clothes in grandpa's old seat. Sat on the overpass and shivered till dawn. By morning the town that I knew was gone. The river took my hometown, but it couldn't take my roots. Washed away the houses, couldn't wash away the truth. We rebuilt on the high ground, where the water couldn't reach. Every flood that tried to drown us only taught us how to teach. Yeah, 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 yeah. The government trailer was a 2-year stay, cramped and moldy metal where the sick air lay. Insurance man came smiling with a check that was small. Said, after God, honey, we don't cover it all. Some folks packed in left, said the town was done, scattered like the seas when the harvest is gone. But my daddy drove a stake in the hill by the pine, said we start again here and we hold the line. The river took my hometown, but it couldn't take my roots. Washed away the houses, couldn't wash away the truth. We rebuilt on the high ground, where the water couldn't reach. Every flood that tried to drown us only taught us how to teach. Board by board, nail by rust and nail. Neighbors raised the walls when the money would fail. Wasn't much, but it stood, and it stood on its own. The kind of thing that water never gets to own. Now I run the county office where the flood maps hang. Fight for every family that the same bell ring. When the storm clouds gather and the sirens cry, I get the trailers moving for the water's high. A little girl last April said, shivering and scared, same look I had once. So I knelt down there, said the river's gonna take some, but it can't take you. We rebuild on the high ground, what we do. The river took my hometown, but it couldn't take my roots. Rebuild on the high ground, where the water couldn't reach. Schoolhouse at the end of the lane, taught 3 generations in the sun and the rain. She saw something in me that nobody else could. Said, you're gonna do great things, girl. And I knew that I would. I was the quiet kid with the hand-me-down shoes, free lunch ticket in the small town blues. Mama worked the night shift, wasn't home for the day, so I raised my little brothers in the hard luck way. Fell asleep in class cause the nights were so long. Teachers wrote me off, figured something was wrong, but Miss Ruth kept me after with a sandwich and a smile. Said, tell me what's happening, child, sit with me a while. Miss Ruth ran the schoolhouse at the end of the lane, taught 3 generations in the sun and the rain. She saw something in me that nobody else could. Said, you're gonna do great things, girl. And I knew that I would. She She loaned me the books that the library lacked, drove me to the college tours in her old Pontiac, paid my application from a thin teacher's purse. Said, don't you thank me, honey, just go break the curse. When mama got sick and I was ready to quit, Miss Ruth sat me down and she wouldn't allow it. Said, your mama didn't struggle for you to stay small. You go get the diploma, you go get it all. Miss Ruth ran the schoolhouse at the end of the lane, taught 3 generations in the sun and the rain. She saw something in me that nobody else could. Said, you're gonna do great things, girl, and I knew that I would. She passed the spring, I graduated with honors and pride. Front row empty where she should have been by my side, but they read me a letter that she wrote before she died. Said, I always knew, baby, go on, change the tide. Now I teach in that same schoolhouse at the end of the lane, same cracked chalkboard, same window pane rain. I keep a drawer of sandwiches for the kids running low, drive them to the college tour so their dreams can grow. There's a quiet little girl in the back of my class, hand-me-down shoes and a heart made of glass. I sat with them under, said, I see you, it's true, you're gonna do great things, girl, 'cause somebody saw me too. Miss Ruth ran the schoolhouse at the end of the lane. She saw something in me, now I do the same. I drove the last bus out of a dying town, kept the wheels turning when they closed it all down. Every stranger I carried had a somewhere to be, so I held the road steady. That was down to me. The mill shut in autumn and the town started to bleed. Store fronts boarded, folks with nothing they need. County cut the transit, said it don't pay its way. Left the old and the carless with no way to stray. I took the route on a handshake and a prayer. Old diesel in a schedule that I kept with care. Miss Taylor to dialysis 3 times a week. The coat and kids to school when the roads got bleak. I drove the last bus out of a dying town, kept the wheels turning when they closed it all down. Every stranger I carried had a somewhere to be, so I held the road steady. That was down to me. Winter came brutal and the fuel prices climbed. Half my own paycheck just to keep the route time. Folks would ride for free when their pockets ran bare. I wave them on quiet, act like I didn't care. A rider named Marcus, just a kid, 17, rode to the night shift, cleanest boy I seen. Said, one day, Miss Driver, I'ma pay you back true. I said, just get where you going, that's payment due. I drove the last bus out of a dying town, kept the wheels turning when they closed it all down. Every stranger I carried had a somewhere to be, so I held the road steady. That was down to me. Yeah. Marcus went to college on the night shift, paid. Came home an engineer to the county one day. Wrote a grant for the transit, got the money to flow. New buses, new drivers, watch the whole thing grow. Now there's a fleet running every single line. Marcus at the helm and the schedule runs fine. He put my name on the very first one, painted on the side, gleaming bright in the sun. I still drive the old route, cause I love the worn seat. Miss Ella waving morning from a spot on the street. Town ain't dying, it's coming back slow, cause somebody kept the wheels turning when it hit the low. I drove the last bus out of a dying town, kept the wheels turning when they close it all down. Yeah. They call my granny a witch for the healing she knew. Roots in her apron and a garden that grew. Burned down her cabin, but they couldn't burn the seed. I still grow her medicine for the folks in need. Yeah. Yeah. Granny lived alone at the edge of the wood. Knew every leaf that could hurt, every leaf that could good. The doctor charged money that the poor couldn't pay, so they walked up a holler at the break of the day. Fever in the baby, she would boil down the bark. Sickness in the omen, she would work in the dark. Never asked a dollar, never turned nobody down, which is why they came to fear in the fearful little town. They call my granny a witch for the healing she knew. Roots in her apron and a garden that grew. Burned down her cabin, but they couldn't burn the seed. I still grow her medicine for the folks in need. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The new preacher came preaching that a wave was a sin. Riled up the frightened and he let the hate in. Said a woman with power was a danger to the Lord. Pointed at my granny like she carried the sword. One night they came marching with a torch and a rope. Burned her little cabin, tried to burn out the hope. She stood on the hillside as it crumbled to the ground, clutching the satchel of the seed she had found. They call my granny a witch for the healing she knew. Roots in her apron and a garden that grew. Burned down a cabin, but they couldn't burn the seed. I still grow her medicine for the folks in need. Eh, eh, eh. The same winter a plague swept the valley below. Doctor couldn't touch it and the death toll grow. Who they come crawling to when the medicine failed? The witch on the hillside, whose knowledge prevailed. Yeah. Now I run a clinic where the holler meets the road. Granny's dog get journals and the wisdom she showed. Half modern medicine, half the old mountain way. The two working together, saving lives every day. The church that once burned to put a name on the plaque. 20 years too late for the woman they attack. But I plant a garden every single spring, and the roots keep on healing, that's the truth that they bring. They call my granny a witch for the healing she knew. Burned down her cabin, but her seed still grew. Grandpa's hands could fix most anything they broke. Grease on his knuckles and a pipe full of smoke. He couldn't read a letter, but he read the whole sky. Taught me more in silence than most folks do all their lives. He had a workshop leaning off the back of the barn. Coffee cans of boats and a heart full of yarn. Radios and tractors, every clock in the town came to Grandpa's table when they wound all down. Never went past their grade, had to work the family field, but his mind was a wonder and his patience was steeled. I'd sit on the sawdust while he tinkered and hummed, handing him the wrenches till the daylight was done. Grandpa's hands could fix most anything that broke. Grease on his knuckles and a pipe full of smoke. He couldn't read a letter, but he read the whole sky. Taught me more in silence than most folks do all their lives. Kids would laugh at Grandpa when he'd sign with the next cashier at the market. Always made him feel less, but he built my mama's cradle in the church's front door. Fixed the widow's furnace and he never takes store. One time I got angry about a word I couldn't spell. He said, learn's a gift, girl, and you're doing it well. Then he wiped down a gear till it shined like the sun. Said everybody smart at a different kind of one. Grandpa's hands could fix most anything that broke. grease on his knuckles and a pipe full of smoke. He couldn't read a letter, but he read the whole sky. Taught me more in silence than most folks do all their lives. The winter he was fading, I sat by his bed, read him all the westerns that he'd never read. He closed his eyes, smiling at the words in the air. Said all these years, and they were waiting right there. Now teach shop class at the school down the road. Show the rest of kids how to lighten low. The ones that can't sit still, the ones they call slow. I put a tool in their hand and I watch how they grow. Grandpa's in the church underneath that front door he made. Every hinge still swinging, every promise he paid. So I keep his coffee cans and bolts on my shelf, and I fix what I can, and I fix it myself. Mama singing juke joints for $1 and a tip. Cigarette voice and a fire on her lip. They never gave her a stage, so she made her own light. I'm singing her song now, and I'm singing it right. She had a voice like whiskey poured over stone. Could quiet a barroom, could shatter you alone. But the recommend passed, cause she wouldn't play nice, wouldn't shrink herself down to a marketable price. So she whipped the counter circuit in a beat-up sedan, trunk full of dreams and a half-broken plan. I slept in the backseat while she sang through the night, learned every note by the dashboard light. Mama singing juke joints for $1 and a tip. Cigarette voice and a fire on her lip. They never gave her a stage, so she made her own life. I'm singing her song now, and I'm singing it right. A slip producer told her, sweetheart, you're too old, too country, too heavy, don't fit the mold. She smiled at him easy, said, that's alright, son. I've been turned down by better and I still ain't done. Cancer came calling when I was 19. Meanest kind of quiet I'd ever seen. She handed me her guitar with the worn down frets. So don't you dare stop, girl, don't you have regrets. Mama singing juke joints for $1 and a tip. Cigarette voice and a fire on her lip. They never gave her a stage, so she made her own life. I'm singing her song now, and I'm singing it right. I took her old songs to the city of lights, sang them on the corner through 100 cold nights, till a woman stopped walking, said, whose words are those? I said, my mama's, and the whole story rolls. On the radio, why 20 years too late, but she's along for the ride. I put her name first every time that I sing. Every crowd that I move is a gift that I bring. Cut her old demos into a record last spring. The beauty top of the chart, heard the angels sing. So the juke joints remember, and the counter still knows the woman with the fire, and the fire still glows. Mama singing juke joints for $1 and a tip. I'm singing her song now, with that fire on my lips.